All right, welcome back, guys, to Pixel Pushers Podcast. I'm sitting down here today with my co-host, Young Gerb, and we have our first guest lined up here, and we've got ToddlerNFT from the Zillaz collection, and we are very excited to get down to it. So, welcome to the podcast, Toddler.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you inviting me to the podcast, but to this podcast. Podcast.
Oh, it's all good, man.
I love all these kind of conversations, and also talking about NFT is kind of my main motivation right now, or what I find more inspiration. So yeah, for me, I really appreciate these kind of spaces. To talk each other, just have fun, and talk about NFTs.
Yeah. I mean, I found like sitting in Twitter spaces all the time, it can get kind of like, when it's like a really bumping one, there's people always just kind of trying to get the mic and show their projects. So I like that, like, there wasn't really a podcast yet in NFTs, or maybe there isn't, I don't know about it, but there's so much good stuff out there. And Zillaz is such a perfect example of like just these collections that are on fire. And like me and Gerb are so into the pixel art. So it's like, as soon as I saw these drop, I was just like, oh man, that's so good. Like the designs are so good and all the variations. So, I mean, before maybe we get into talking about the collection, like what got you into crypto more broadly?
Yeah, I just started crypto maybe on the summer. My summer is gonna be maybe February of 2019.
Oh, okay.
I kind of have some kind of background thing. So I was on my holidays with my family, and I have a lot of time. So I started reading a lot of things online, and from one forum to another forum, I just went to the place where I knew, or I discovered all this kind of thing of metaverse. Was the central land that is that time was going to be launched. So there kind of at that time was a lot of hype. So I just connect my computer. They made me make my own wallet. So my wallet was made on there, that central land. That's how I started this kind of crypto, or
cool.
all these kind of Web3 things. So after that, I bought a little bit Ethereum, a few Bitcoins, started doing some kind of trading, know about all this kind of stuff. And that's kind of snowballing until what I am right now. So it was kind of a slowly grading or slowly adventure where from time to time I keep studying and knowing a little bit more about NFTs or all this kind of stuff. That's how I started, I think so.
Cool.
A few months later I bought a few NFTs, mostly just went to zero, but for me, what was like kind of game changer was joining the fast food friend community, and that's how I think all my kind of motivation from doing my own collection started. Because I love this kind of pixelated art, and also I love it the memes. I love the Pepe the Frog, so that collection was perfect, and also the whole community is amazing. Right now, I must say, I just received my fast food friend hoodie, So I love
Oh,
it. I'm
nice.
loving it. Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
I have it on. I just tried and I love it. Yeah, yeah. That's what's really special thing. Also to remember that kind of stage with fast food friends and was really fun thing, and that's how I all started. I meet Gooey there, and also meet a lot of friends like Rick Sanchez that is also working with me right now on Zillaz.
The meme god, the meme god.
Yeah, the meme guy.
Shout out Brick.
It's really nice guy. Yeah, I think that's kind of my short story with the kind of NFT and something like that. I always love it, this kind of pixelate and art. I played a lot of kind of pixelated games before, so yeah, I think that's what's my style, what I love the most, and what's I gonna continue, accumulating or collecting all these kind of NFT, pixelated art things. So,
well, I remember when you came to me and you were like, I think you wanted the cityscape thing done, and your first reference was Rampage, and I was like, oh man, this guy knows what's up. Like, that was such a perfect way to encapsulate what you were looking for right away, and it was just a blast to take. So that's it. Like you've gotten a lot of work done in a very short amount of time. Yeah. Like you essentially launched a project and you're already breeding in under 6 months, man. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's in less than 2 months we have built this kind of breeding things. Also, Tire Robotics help us. We kind of developing our own breeding, but those guys kind of boost us, so made it a little bit more faster, and was a really nice thing for doing this kind of partnership with Tire Robotics. They are really like a big team. They have all kind of developers, so yeah, it was really good thing. And I started the project doing my drawings, all this kind of stuff, maybe for 2 or 3 months, just trying to discover that what I wanted to draw, what I like it. That's when this inspiration comes about Godzilla. I love this kind of. I also love this kind of Godzilla or King Kong's movies. I wanted to be in a metaverse and not just being maybe a small guy or a cartoon. I wanted to be, a Godzilla in metaverse. So when I thought it, I say, oh, what's gonna be more awesome that you roaming around the buildings and destroying things? You're gonna be a huge guy, and the other guy's gonna be smaller. So yeah, that's what the first thing come to my head, and that's why I wanted to be build some kind of art related to big guys or monsters, something like that. So that's also come the game Rampage, that I love it. I played a lot when I was younger. That's, I think, how the inspiration comes. Godzilla, kind of Rampage. I wanted to have more kind of breeds, not just one, because also what motivated me to do 4 different breeds in my project was, I don't want to just have one base model and different attributes. That's all. I wanted to give more value to the collection, also do some things more different. So, all these kind of algorithm generate thing of NFT art is more hard if you have 4 base models, but also I think that's it's gonna be a good idea, because it's gonna also add value to the project. Also adds value if you have different arts, or people may want a dog or a cat or monkey or whatever they like the most, and they can choose and buy that. So yeah. That's how
you nail like collectability times 4 when you've got the different breeds too.
Yeah.
No.
Also.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So for those who are listening who might not be as familiar with the Zillaz collection, I'm just going to read from the website a little bit of the lore to go behind here. So it is the year 2031, 1 year after World War III. The world has been devastated by nuclear fallout. Half of the human population is no more, and the world belongs to a new alpha predator. A new class of beast has emerged from the radiation. 4 mysterious species have overtaken the world that have their sight on a new land known as the metaverse. And there are 4 different Zillaz species, as you sort of mentioned: the Catzilla, the dog Zilla, the monkey Zilla, and just the Zilla, and all have a slightly different design. Super, super cool. I really like the idea of sort of creating a story around the characters. It sort of gives more context for people, I think, who might be a little newer to NFTs, of like, why this image, or what does that mean? And I think the harkening back to old video games too is something that a lot of people in the space have sort of mentioned when I've spoken to them. And I wonder to what degree nostalgia really plays into a lot of people's interest with the artwork. And I think it's also really cool that the breeding, we should talk more about that, because I think for those who might not have a lot of context, that might not make a ton of sense off the bat.
That's I think going to the lore thing, I think giving not just a picture or just the NFT alone is something that most of the project need to do. You need to maybe have some kind of background or lore. People will appreciate it. Also, this kind of give the story and how they emerge. People who buy an NFT want to know more about things, the history, how they was made, or they have a lore, what is going to be their place in the metaverse. So we build this kind of story, thinking about the post-apocalyptic world where this kind of big beasts emerge from radiation, not just Godzilla or G-Zilla. This kind of our base model, but also dogs or cats or other animals that you want or you love. Also could be these kind of Zillaz. I think that was really fun. Also doing this kind of lore or invent this kind of lore is also really fun. Also Rick Sanchez helping a lot with the lore. That guy have a lot of imagination, so regret to him. So and we want to add more value to the NFT, not just NFT profile picture NFT. Our project is more kind of game aim, metaverse and game aim. It's gonna be kind of utility, or as I said in Twitter, is kind of your key to the metaverse, the Zillaz, no? So we want to also implement some fun stuff, like breeding. Right now we are in a stage that you can breed baby Zilla. First you breed that egg, the egg later after 20 days is gonna hatch in a baby Zillaz. So far we are kind of rebuilding the baby Zillaz. We have also 4 new base designs, and also those babies is gonna evolve in the future in 4 new species or creatures.
Sweet.
Yeah. Right now, I think we're kind of 700 eggs that are minted.
Wow.
To mint.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of eggs.
Dude, that's like under a week too. Like I was there when you were launching it, because it was the first time I've gotten to breed NFTs. And like, man, it was so smooth too. Like that's just what blows me away. You and your project is like, like there's so many out there that make these promises, and then you're sitting on your hands waiting for them to roll it out. And it's like, you dropped the collection, it sold out in 3 minutes. You came in right after with Rad, and then like right in behind with breeding. It's just like, and I feel like you caught that like perfect cusp of like when everything was hyping on the Solana network, right? Like the OpenSea's really, like you guys just hit that like perfect spot where the collection just blew up. One, because the art is so fantastic, but like I think it was also like I love how you incorporated other communities with the hats, and it was the first time I really saw a project really bring all those kind of communities together under one roof, where the blockchain wasn't necessarily the issue, right? Because like some guys, you know, will balk at minting on blockchains that aren't Ethereum, but like you just executed this really awesome way of bringing in those people from that network to start understanding the Solana environment too. Like it's just so cool.
Yeah. I was when I started on Ethereum, you know, a kind of background with all these NFTs on Ethereum, but as I saw some guy show me kind of Solana world, Solana low fees, all this kind of stuff. So I really like it. I really appreciate that you have no fees compared to Ethereum. I paid it a lot of gases to try to mint some kind of collections. I didn't mint it, and I also lose the gas. So yeah, that's kind of things that I think I don't want it to have in or my own collection, or make people to, you know, go in the same situation as this kind of bad minting experience that I had before. So that's what I wanted to do my project in Solana. No, and I think that's a really good decision.
Yeah, made, absolutely.
I think that that was really good. Yeah, I think in that time there are plenty of collection that were, you know, developing or maybe minting, and 1 or 2 weeks before that was minted Thai Robotics. We also minted with a few all collections. Right now, I don't really remember which others was at that time.
Feels like a lifetime ago, eh?
Like... Yeah, it's a lifetime ago. Less than 2 months, you know. Yeah. I think was really good time. We kind of building hype from Twitter and Discord maybe 1 month before. I was sharing the art, the pictures, so all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I was really fun, you know, pre-minting experience. All the people, you know, doing this kind of memes when this, when other. All these kind of things that I thought was really fun, and we just building a community, and we kind of built a community based on memes. And also I forgot to tell you later, before that, also one of the things that I wanted to do with my project is kind of gather or connect different communities, mostly also bring maybe Ethereum projects that guys or friends of mine that are full in Ethereum, that they didn't know about Solana, wanted, you know, hey man, check it out, check Solana, NFT, you have low fees, whatever. At that time, there's kind of plenty of racks. I remember a few people told me, man, don't do it in Solana. All people think they're just completely cash grabs, something like that. I say, no man, we can be a good project, you know. So that's also why we build this kind of thing with the hats. And I love CyberCon, so it's kind of a cameo to CyberCon, the project that the first idea started with the CyberCon hats, and also start building the fast food friend hats, because I love fast food friends also, and I love this kind of community. And also I bring maybe a few more OGs from Ethereum, and also Solana, Solana Monkey Business. We have had Solana Business, we have had some, or maybe but with penguins. Right now they kind of fucked up, but a few OG projects that was really fun thing to know. So
you guys have
sorry,
you guys have such a crazy community. I just love it. Like I remember when
Amelia,
I first, shout out Amelia, like
Amelia, Amelia.
Just like it's always hopping off in there, and it was the first time I saw like a collection just explode off memes, right? Like there's so many just fantastic Zilla memes out there, and it was also the first opportunity I got where like shout out to like guys like Groovy, who let me like paint his Zilla into a meme, and like got to like experiment with the idea of, like, I remember reaching out to you, Toddler, and being like, where do you land on me, doing this? Because I didn't want to step on your toes and ruin the rep of the collection. But I love playing with the characters in animation and stuff. So, once you own it, it's yours, right? So it was like, I love that idea then of like, what can you do with your NFT afterwards? After you own it, you've got the intellectual property. Because I think like that will become something much, much bigger in the future, where, we actually fully realize those intellectual property ideas, but maybe not fully yet. But I think, like, once we get into the metaverse, that'll be much more thing. And now that I know the story behind, like, wanting to be the biggest creature in the metaverse, like, that's so fun.
Yeah. I think this kind of intellectual if you buy an NFT, you buy this also because of the decentralization. You are kind of blockchain. I think you kind of like these kind of things, no? So I think given the IP or the intellectual thing about to the holders is, I think that it's needed. For me, I think it's needed to do. You just gave them completely freedom to do whatever they want, because they bought it, and they just owners of or small owners of this kind of company that is the whole project now. So I think that's part for me, or what I think is needed to do. Some projects don't do it, or don't give the intellectual property to the holders, but I think for me it's kind of a must that the project need to do nowadays. But that's talking about the memes. That was completely organic. That's why also I bring Rick Sanchez, and a few other friends that also they are completely meme guys. So I also am a meme guy. So we just started doing the memes, and the things just go pretty organic. The thing just went pretty organic. The people are doing their own memes, they're sharing, they're having fun, and we didn't know that also all these kind of memes were posted on Twitter, and we are making a lot of sound, and in a matter of really, really short time, all the people in Twitter start talking about the Mamilia, also price and good price, all these kind of price things that also exploded with us. So and all people know about Zillaz, about the community, about the memes, about the familia. So that's really, really great. That kind of pump our project pretty good, pretty strong in the beginning, and I think that was really important for what we are right now. People know us as a good friendly project who kind of really are really friendly, and if you don't have a Zilla, you also can be part of our community. So I think the project need to have these kind of aims. Be really friendly, have fun, and you don't know much about the other people or why they are here, but if you can make them smile or maybe have a good time, I think that's really a good thing to do.
Well, and I've also seen in the Bamilia, like, just some really amazing stuff, like Groovy did that Twitter giveaway. And I think I remember seeing that somebody didn't end up getting in on the mint or something like that, and somebody just donated them one. And it's like, just to see that, like, a lot of the NFT projects preach about what their community is, and it's a big draw, but like, you guys are actually executing this really wonderful environment, even just with on the Discord itself, where like, it just feels like something really special. And that's what I love. Like, I check Bryce every day. Bryce is always good.
But good.
I mean, you guys have also done like 33K in volume in 2 months, right? Like, that's nothing to balk at either, right? Like, I think that
that's
just and like, I think, like, I don't think I'm ever going to sell mine now, because like, I remember at beginning, because like, I got into doing a little bit of Solana NFT flips, But eventually I picked a whole bunch up when they were like dirt cheap. But they just grew on me. Like they just sit in my wallet, and the more that I like paint them into my memes and do that kind of stuff, I'm just like, I don't know that I could part with these anymore. Like they're just they feel like the first NFT for me that like was I bought into it and I was like, I think that there's something really here. And it's exceeded my expectations. And
Thank
I
you.
was I bred both my Zillaz pairs the first day, like right when you were on air. And then I gave one to Gerb right away because like I've been trying to snipe a Zilla for him, but because I've been wanting to bring him in, but it was nice to especially with passive income with Rat, and like he gave that huge drop right off the top. So like for breeding. So it was just again, like I keep coming back to like you've created this perfect project of incentivizing holding, creating a wonderful community that's a lot of fun. And I think like we're only going to see the value continue to rise. Like because you're always posting stuff about your metaverse plays, and the voxel stuff looks great. And you guys are signed up with Savannah now too, right?
Yeah. We are kind of already building some things. I can't share too much alpha right now, but
yeah.
We're gonna build game sandbox. We are with a game studio that developing things right now for us. With us, also we are partnership with Savannah. Also, we're gonna have a metaverse there, and also with Chill Chat. I think there are really good 2D projects or pixelated art projects that also fits perfectly with our art. No, so. On top of that, we are building our things also. We're game. I think, but most of these kind of games or the kind of developer, they're more kind of expensive, also time consuming things. It's not gonna be released too soon, maybe in a week. No, I think to build in a good game, also a good kind of metaverse, it's taking a little bit more time. But in the meantime, we're trying to do other things like fun things, this kind of breeding, the babies that also can bring more people to the collection because we have a really limited, amount of the Genesis Zillaz. It's kind of 2,424. And it's not that much, so that's what we wanted to do, breeding, maybe to bring new people, fresh people to the community. Also works, to expand a little bit more and give more space to people to build, get and play, something like that. So and also we have a lot of things that we are going to be building, and at the same time that we're building our game metaverse. We have more surprises prepared for the people, and I think if you continue building, you continue doing things with the project, I think the price always gonna go up or rise because the more time it's past, you continue doing things, the more people say, okay, this is a good project, this is a long-term project, and they're always developing things. I think in the future they're gonna grow even more or something like that. So that's also what I do when I invest in projects. I try to look what they have built, what is the team, and after that I see if they have a long-term view, a long-term project, and trying to know the developers or the other guys, and that's when I jumped in the project. The community, all the thing. Also, I forget to mention that Ruby also helped us from the start. Because I contacted Ruby, I knew from the not Ruby, Gooey, you, big Gooey. You from the start because I wanted to make some kind of GIF. By the way, Big Gooey made our background of the sites, where the Zillaz is roaming in the city, because I know Big Gooey also kind of is a known guy who paints really good things on pixelated, so that's why I contacted him and say, okay, can you help me doing this kind of thing? So the background, I'm building the art, I'm building another things, so I don't have too much time right now. So and also you help us to build the X that are also animated. So you are also kind of part of the project, man. I really appreciate you are up to help us.
It was a really crazy experience to like breed my Zillaz and end up minting my own art. Like that was, I think, like one of those moments that I'm gonna remember for a long time, because it's so cool to, that the space is so small that we were able to connect and make that happen, right? Like that can still happen right now, right? You can still be getting in the ground floor, working with projects and showing what you can do. And yeah, it's just been so great.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'll also try to bring more people to the project. Also, they are really talented. I try to keep continue building with us, or as you have been with us from the start. You also have been you didn't just do the background of the webpage. You also later I get in touch with you to build the X, and also maybe some more things in the future that also I'm doing with other people who have joined the community just for the fun, and right now they're kind of mods, so they're helping kind of social media where they're I think also that's a really fun thing in this space, that you know new people, great people who also can add value to the project and maybe made it your team. So mostly of my team right now are people that I know in your projects. So I think that is completely good, amazing thing in space and the NFT space right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was wondering, Toddler, do you have a lot of experience with visual art outside of the NFT space? Is making visual art something that's somewhat new to you in lieu of like all of these things we've been talking about? Like, tell us about your history with art.
I'm orthodontist. I'm a dentist. I study most of my life, so about medicine and this kind of doctor-related stuff. I'm also work as a dentist. So for me, I have kind of no background in kind of this thing about paintings or the arts, and just what I have done in school maybe, or when I was kid, something like that. But I never have kind of background. Neither also about in digital arts, doing the painting or Photoshop, something like that. No, I started learning this when I wanted to build this project. Was for me was kind of more easy because I like the pixelated art. So kind of painting the pixelated art, I think for me it's more easy just to paint maybe some kind of more complex or more kind of real painting. So maybe so for me, when I started drawing, I have completely no background, but it's not hard to paint, I think, pixelated art. You need to have some time. You need to know how to use Photoshop. That I at that time I knew how to use all these kind of tools, but was a matter of time. It took me maybe 2 or 3 months to complete my collection. I think it's a lot of time, because also I was working as a dentist or orthodontist. I have family and I have kids. So most of my free times I was drawing and doing these kind of things and showing my wife, oh, you like this, you like another, my friends, my family. And all the people say, well, you're drawing these kind of pixelated things. They're so ugly. Man, I love it.
Yeah, it looks so
That's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so for me, I have...
what I learned from Zillaz, like, was really interesting because I didn't see it at first, but like now that like I've looked at the collection enough, I see where you've lined up your assets where they line up on all 3 breeds, like your actual structure of the Zillaz, so you're able to kind of map across all 4 races.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's such a good idea. Like if you block out your assets first, and then because I did the generative art program, but I learned so many, like I had to like, when like assets will clash when you render it out for the first couple times, you got to tune, this art doesn't work here, this, and you start kind of negotiating with it. But like to see how you block things out initially was like so inspiring when I like went to my next project that I did. And I was like, oh, like I'm gonna lay it out exactly like that this time because it makes my life so much easier.
Yeah, for that kind of part, the generative art, I have a friend of mine from school who is kind of software engineer, and he know a lot of kind of programming, some all these kind of things. So yeah, I was using some kind of visual codes that I learned in YouTube to do my generative. That I have really hard time doing this kind of because I have 4 different base models. You can't blend anything together, because each model have their own colors, their own, attributes that's not gonna fit the other model. So yeah, at that time I have hard time. So that's why I contacted my friend, and he helped me doing the generative. And right now he helped me doing the generative, also the baby collection.
Sweet, yeah.
Of course, yeah. So but yeah, I found that kind of things were kind of through things that you need to work a little bit more if you are doing some kind of complex collection, but it's not that hard. I think there's a lot of people that can help you, and it's also more fun things to do, and giving more complexity to the collection is for me it was really fun thing.
Well, and you've got a lot of assets in Zillaz. Like it's a super fun collection to just even look through, right? Like a lot of the times, I'll be checking Bryce and then I just get lost kind of like, oh, what's up there right now? And seeing just like sometimes there'll be like a color or a background I haven't seen before that just always gets me. Like that moon one, I just like, that's so good. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I also love it. Yeah, I think doing this kind of for my collection, I kind of created maybe more than 200 assets or items. Just for the hats, I draw maybe 75 different hats. Was huge. A lot of things, because they just going through me. I just thought about a project. Okay, I'm looking with Solano communities. I'm talking with those kind of guys. So I just started drawing these hats. I love it. Like the Kongs, I do the Kongs. And I just continue drawing and drawing and drawing. So at one time I have 70 different hats and say, okay, I need to stop. I need to do another thing.
Yeah.
That's when you go to the hoodies, you go to the background. It's the same, Like you are sleeping, you have an idea, you write it, and the other day you just continue drawing. So for me, it's really fun thing doing this kind of art or drawings. For me, I think I get better and better every time. That's why I also wanted to add more complexity to the baby collections. We have more pixels, so I have more details, and also the evolution form of the babies, I think, is going to be more complex. As I'm growing as a pixel artist, I think the collection is going to be improving by itself, no? So, but also trying always to maintain your original, your genesis, or your original concept, and it's important thing also to do.
Absolutely,
definitely.
I guess we're kind of approaching the end here, but I was wondering, like, what is a collection you've got your eye on, or like that is like kind of your favorite artistically right now out there?
Oh, that's really good question. I have been working so much for Zillaz that I didn't have enough time, to kind of invest or do new mints. I really don't have a lot of that time and do my research. But as a pixel art lover, always kind of being or kind of try to look some kind of pixelated new collections. For me, what a new collection is going to be minting right now that have this kind of art that I like. For me, it's kind of the Ninja Scalp collection. It's called Ninja Empires. I have seen some kind of sneak peeks about that collection, Ninja Empires. They are kind of pixelated. They are really, really well done. I think the artists have done really good, work there. I think it's the only one that I have do some kind of research, because I like that guy. Also, I'm on his Discord, and he have also asked me a few things about doing this kind of NFT projects. So, but I was surprised about his collection. I think it's it's beautiful. The art is beautiful. It's completely pixelated also, but more detailed than Zillaz, but it's really good one. I think that's gonna be my next mint. If I have time, or I remember when now, because I have missed a lot of mints that I was on the white list, but I didn't have time, or didn't doing another or things, or maybe on holiday, something like that, don't allow me to mint it. So yeah, man, the time goes really fast.
Doesn't it? Yeah,
sure does.
Yeah. And then I guess the second part of that question, sorry, Gerb, is there anything that's really got your eye for NFT utility out there right now for a collection?
Of the Zillaz?
No, just like another like. I don't want to make you reveal too much about those Zillaz, but just is there anything maybe that you see or you think is like a really interesting concept utility wise that's happening with NFTs right now?
For me, that what I like and what I invest in mostly is on kind of gaming or metaverse aim projects, because I think it's kind of the future. So and also what I'm building. So for me, the biggest utility that NFT could have right now is this kind of gaming thing, mix it with the art. But so right now in the space, we have a lot of things that are not contributing that much. And for me, kind of this kind of gambling things, they are not good for the space, or maybe they are not looking long term. I think so, and you need to search, or need to find things that could contribute to the space also, and make NFT world more known to the outsiders. No, so yeah, the first approach is going to be easy, to reach more people about the games, because normal people also play games, and it's a way, to approach to more people. Also, what the Board Eight Jazz Club, they're doing a lot of kind of marketing with big, uh, ideas, or Nike, something like that. So yeah, also give a lot of more approach to normal people or the NFT. But right now, what I like the most, or the most utility cool NFT have right now, is kind of these kind of assets in the games that's gonna be completely change the game, because right now you play a game who got some merch, no merch item inside that you can trade inside, but when you log off and you end playing that game, they are keeping you keep it there. You can do anything with those, with NFT, what brings to these kind of games that you are the owner of this asset, or you can trade it and whatever you want, or how you want. So maybe you can send it to other people. So I think it's gonna be game changing for this kind of industry right now. Also about the metaverse, I think the NFT is you're gonna have your token, your skin, your thing for the metaverse. And what I find is I like the most. That's one of the reasons also what I built Zillaz, as I told you before, that you could have a Zillaz as a skin and roam around with your friends that have maybe another asset or another NFT as a skin. I think also that's going to be a good utility for the NFTs, not just being a picture that, because not just being it's going to be a picture that it's going to be yourself. Yourself is gonna be that picture. You're gonna interact with the other people, and they're gonna know you as that profile pictures. Not profile pictures. Gonna know you as your skin, or maybe your metaverse.
Totally, yeah. Totally
things. So yeah, I think what I'm building, and what I think is for me what I most important things for NFT right now, or things that I want to aim or search is these things, metaverse, gaming, and what can this NFT give or contribute to these spaces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, you got any questions to wrap it up there, Gerber?
I think that about sums everything up for me. This has been so much fun. Really great talking to you, Toddler, and so great to hear your unique story and take on NFTs and where things are headed and your experience in the space. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Excuse me for my English. English is my third language, so I'm not good English speaker or fluent English speaker. So excuse me that about my English.
Oh, it was fantastic.
No
Thanks so much, brother.
Awesome.
You're always welcome on the show. Thanks so much for coming. We'll drop all the Zillaz links in the show notes. Thanks so much for joining us, and catch us next time on Pixel Butchers Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Pixel Pushers Podcast, brought to you by the Big Gooey and Young Gerb. This is not a pyramid scheme. We have no corporate sponsors. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.